part of a project where everyone agreed there was a problem, but nobody seemed to agree on what the solution should be. Or maybe you've seen a project get completed successfully, only to realize afterward that it didn't actually solve the problem it was intended to address. These kinds of situations are exactly why business analysis exists. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, I'm Dr. Katie Linder, a certified project manager, change manager, and coach who works full-time leading and supporting teams in higher education. On this channel, I offer real-world examples of how project management translates into the higher ed environment. If you're looking for ways to use project management tools and skills both professionally and personally to bring more ease to your work and life, you're in the right place. Let's kick off with a simple definition. Business analysis is the practice of identifying organizational needs, understanding problems and opportunities, and helping to find solutions that deliver value. One of the reasons business analysis is important is that it helps organizations avoid rushing to solutions. Often when a challenge emerges, people immediately begin talking about what they should do. They want a new system, a new process, a new policy, or a new initiative. But before deciding on a solution, it's important to understand the problem. That's really the heart of business analysis. It's the discipline of asking thoughtful questions and making sure everyone has a shared understanding of what needs to change and why. Although many people associate business analysis with technology projects, it can be applied to almost any kind of work. Whether you're redesigning a student service, improving a business process, launching a strategic initiative, or implementing new software, business analysis helps ensure that you're solving the right problem. One of the biggest reasons that projects struggle is because teams move too quickly from identifying a problem to choosing a solution. Imagine a department says, "We need a new software system." A business analyst would likely respond with a series of questions. What isn't working with the current system? What challenges are users experiencing? What outcomes are we trying to achieve? Is the software actually the solution, or is the issue related to training, communication, staffing, or process design? Sometimes organizations discover that the problem they thought they had isn't actually the root issue. And if you solve the wrong problem, even a well-executed project can fail to create meaningful value. Business analysis helps teams slow down just enough to understand what's really happening before they invest significant time, money, and energy into a solution. When people hear the title business analyst, they're often not quite sure what that person does all day. The simplest way I can describe the role is that business analysts help bridge the gap between problems and solutions. A significant portion of their work involves talking with stakeholders and gathering information. They spend time understanding current challenges, identifying goals, and learning how different groups experience a situation. In higher education, this might mean meeting with faculty, staff, students, administrators, technology teams, and external partners. Each group brings a different perspective, and business analysts help make sense of those perspectives. Another major responsibility is gathering and documenting requirements. Requirements describe what a solution needs to do in order to meet stakeholder needs. If a university is implementing a new advising platform, for example, the business analyst might work with advisors and students to understand what features are most important and what challenges need to be addressed. Business analysts also spend a lot of time analyzing processes. They look at how work is currently being completed, where bottlenecks exist, where people experience frustration, and where inefficiencies may be creating unnecessary complexity. This process-oriented work is especially important in higher education because many of our processes cross departmental boundaries. A student-facing service might involve admissions, financial aid, advising, registrar functions, and academic departments. Understanding how all those pieces fit together is often essential to creating effective solutions. Business analysts might compare vendors, assess risks, facilitate decision-making discussions, or gather feedback from users. Their goal is not simply to select a solution, but to identify the solution that best aligns with organizational needs. And in many organizations, business analysts continue supporting projects during implementation by helping with user testing, training, communication, and evaluation. At this point, you might be wondering how business analysis differs from project management. Project management is primarily concerned with how work gets completed. Project managers focus on timelines, budgets, resources, risks, deliverables, and coordination. Business analysis focuses on understanding needs, defining requirements, evaluating solutions, and ensuring that the work creates value. One way I like to think about it is that project managers often ask, how do we successfully deliver this project? Business analysts ask, are we solving the right problem in the right way? Both questions are essential. The good news is that you don't need the title of business analyst to benefit from these skills. Anyone who leads projects can become stronger at business analysis by improving their ability to ask questions, listen carefully, facilitate conversations, map processes, and focus on outcomes rather than solutions. In many ways, business analysis is about curiosity. It's about taking the time to understand what's really happening before deciding what to do next. And that's a skill that can strengthen almost any project. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever worked with a business analyst, or do you find yourself doing business analysis activities as part of your current role? And if you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more ideas about how project management principles can be applied in higher education settings. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.